This video is going to show you how to search for a person. So any form that you go to in Banner where you need to find a person, this is how you would do it. So I'm going to go to a generic form. This is one of our general person forms called Spaden. So if you know the Banner ID, you would just type the Banner ID in and select Go. But if you don't know the Banner ID and you're trying to find it, and you're going to search by the person's name or birthday or whatever, you would select the ellipsis button to get to the query form. When you select that, a pop-up will appear, and depending on what form you're on in Banner determines what options you'll have in the option list. But on Spaden, we have person search, non-person search, and alternate ID search. If I would have gone to a form like SATM's, which is our application form, I would have just had person search and alternate ID search. I'm going to go ahead and select person search. And you're going to see that now you have where it defaults to a basic filter. This looks more like 8 than what we had before, which was just the advanced filter. But you still have the option to do the advanced filter. So to do the basic filter, you can type in whatever field values you know for the columns that automatically populated. So this is your filter options. These are the fields that the basic filter is allowing you to query by. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to search for Gazav, and I'm going to say I don't know how to spell the full name or the first name, and I'm going to use the wildcard. And then when I select Go, it's going to execute my query, and it's going to show me that we have someone with GAZ Tester, and this is the birthday, and then we have Gazav Tester and the birthday, and then you have a Banner ID. So these two Banner IDs are actually merged together because you see it's the same one, and then you have the third one. So you could use the name and the birthday to try to find the right person. Now, let me go ahead, and I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to go out. And I'm going to go ahead and select the ellipsis again. And this time, instead of choosing person search, I'm going to do alternate ID search. And once again, you'll see some fields automatically default that you can use to execute your query. So again, I'm just going to use GAZ%, and then I'm going to use test%. I'm going to select Go to execute my query. And now you'll see that this one just gives you more information. It shows me the birthday, and it gives the last 4 digits of the social. So I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to start again. This time, I'm going to select the ellipsis to go do my person search. I'm going to select person search. And instead of using the basic filters that automatically populate for me, I'm going to go ahead and select advanced filters. Now, I can choose to use all of these filters, or I can select only enter the ones I want, or if I want to, I can select clear all in the lower right-hand side, and it brings it to where I decide exactly what filters I want. So I'm just going to say I want to use last name, and I want to use first name, and I want to use change indicator. So I'm going to say change indicator is blank. That means that's the active ID for the person. And then I'm going to use last name as Gazav and first name as Amber. And then I'm going to select Go. And it says query calls no record. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to ID changed and select Go. And now you see it shows me all of the Amber Gazav records. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cancel this. I'm going to hit the ellipsis again. I'm going to do person search. I'm going to go to advanced again. I'm going to clear all, and I'm going to choose last name, first name. I'm still messing with this change indicator because if you don't know what all the fields mean, you could get confused when you're trying to use the filter. In a person search, typically we're looking for their first name, last name. We may do their middle name as well. That change indicator is not something you would normally use. But that does, when I use it that particular way, it brought me to her exact Banner ID that is active on the student's record. Because, you know, a student could have more than one Banner ID, but the Banner IDs were merged. into one record with one master banner ID. So so that was me using the basic and the advanced. Now, what I want to show you something else because this has actually changed. So if I go to person search, and this changed from just one upgrade back. Okay, with the basic filter, when I was demoing this on the training, I was showing that you didn't have to use the wildcard. So you could put, just put the beginning of the first name and the last name and select go, and you didn't need the wildcard. But you'll see I did that, and it says query calls no records to be retrieved. So when you're using the basic search, you do have to use the wildcard still. So I'm going to put the % after GAZ in the last name and after test in the first name. And I'm telling it, I wanted to find any record where the last name begins with GAZ and the first name begins with TEST. Now, before the last upgrade, we didn't have to use the wildcard, but now with the basic filter, you do. So now that I've added the wildcard, you'll see now it found my search. Now, I'm going to cancel this, and I'm going to show you that when I do the advanced filter, I do not have to use the wildcard. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select advanced filter. I'm going to clear all of these because I only want to use 2. So I clear it, and watch what happens when I put GAZ as the last name. And for the first name, I put TEST. You're going to see no %, no wild, and I select go, and it finds it. So if you use the basic, you have to use the wildcard if you're not putting the full first and last name and you're looking for everything that begins with. If you're using the advanced, you do not need the wildcard.